Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... You'll hear a lot of YouTubers and streamers say things like, oh, I had no intention of recording this video, or oh, I had no intention of making this stream. But actually, I did have an intention of streaming, but not streaming what I am streaming today. So there's the loophole, as Alden Blay once said. Because, yeah, this one was a last-minute recommendation, because I was going to review something that I have actually been waiting for content to release for 4 years. But then, because Emily is also is one that Emily and I are both involved in, and so Emily requested that I delay that one. So I guess also in the spirit of Harry Potter, I've waited 4 years. Guess I can wait a little longer. For this one, though, I had not heard of this until right after that event when KW recommended it. Apparently not expecting me to actually review it, but there you go. Apparently that's that seemed to pique people's interest, and also encourage people to sign up for this one, which is a relief because. As I said before, I am not. I'm not the biggest Yu Gi-Oh expert. All the knowledge I have of Yu Gi-Oh pretty much is from the abridged series, which, granted, does provide a significant amount of insight, but it is not perfect and is not. And it takes some liberties, let's say. Because apparently Seto Kaiba doesn't sound like this. He's a lot less raspy. That's what I've heard. Anyway, but as for My Hero Academia, I watched it years ago with some people up until season 4, the start of season 4, that is to say, and then for some reason we just kind of stopped. I don't know why we did. I guess life or something, no idea. But point is, that was some time ago, and so again, I have some insight into that. However, it's not the full extent, so depending on when exactly was this made again. Let me just quickly. Nope, that's the wrong tab. I don't know. Depending on whenever this was made, there might have some differences. I normally don't close the tab of the videos that I stream for, but I seem to have done so. So I will open that up, and while I do so, let's hear from our guests for today. That would be BB and Aiden.
It was made 4 years ago, by the way.
Hi.
So
well, there you go. 4 years in the making as well.
Your My Hero Academia knowledge should suffice.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I've watched all of season 1 and a bit of season 2, but not much season 2. So that's
I think you
where
started watching with us, and then we continued. I think
So this is gonna make it sound far more serious than it is.
But drama.
But My Hero Academia is genuinely maybe the one show that has haunted me for years, because there was a period of time where Jacob, Shorty, and me would sit down and watch, but I was a latecomer into it, and then it stopped, or either I was invited or whatever, and it was always kind of a sporadic invitation or whatever, and then and then I hear about it every once in a while, and then I kid you not, whenever this college semester started, I had a friend, we kind of fell off a little bit, but I had a friend that I had just met, immediately tried making me sit down and binge My Hero Academia from the start. We watched the first few episodes, and it's...
Eat my hair.
And to this day, it's still on my media list. It's like some 100-something things down, and it's not even the show. It's going to be the manga, most likely, because I think the manga came out first.
The manga did end, so,
yes.
You get to read it from start to finish.
I know, but that's my thing, right? This stupid show, this one franchise just keeps on appearing in my life every once in a while, and it's like I can't escape it.
It seems so. I was even referenced in AFMAL multiple times. It was referenced in AFMAL before in a prequel series set before the manga came out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
the Aphmau timeline. It's like a weird shifting timeline. It's like Marvel or The Simpsons. It's just on a weird shifting timeline for some reason.
Yeah, I would say Marvel's very funky because it's just kind of decides on its year whenever it needs it. It's like, yeah, we take place now, but to be clear, this was actually 3 years ago. So was it 1980 or was it 2004?
You know, when was Peter born? Did he grow up in the 60s or did he grow up in the early 2000s? We'll never know.
Here's what I know. If we really take it at face value and look at the comics and their technology, if we're supposed to believe that every retcon, we're just supposed to swallow it. Man, I gotta tell you, these people keep their technology a lot longer than we did. I mean, these people were using payphones way longer simultaneously with iPhones.
Wasn't there a thing where where like every like 1 year of like comic timeline was 3 years in real life or something?
No,
like,
so
arguably
arguably 4 real years equals one thing, but really it comes down to the writer and what they need for the story. It's not that consistent. And even if it were, that's still frustrating because that still moves the time slot from the beginning ahead.
But I mean, what's even funnier though is with The Simpsons. You know, The Simpsons came out in the 90s, but Homer is now like a 90s kid. Like, I guess one of the more recent episodes
that I have
Homer
heard, yeah.
reference like animatronics, like a Chuck E. Cheese place that Homer went to as kids. Like, dang,
yeah,
Homer's now a 90s kid.
Yeah, so where Marvel
The
played,
there was one, but there's one moment in The Simpsons where Homer goes like, "Ah, yes, I was a young kid in the 50s. Maybe it was the 60s, maybe the 70s. It doesn't matter."
Yeah,
something like that.
Because where Marvel
before
plays
the 90s,
with,
back on.
Yeah, because where Marvel plays with exact years, it's frustrating there. Simpsons plays with the idea of generations. Also, read a little of House of Leaves. Pretty mid. Disagree, but also a little is not enough.
Ghosty.
See, that kind of sounds like when I read The Great Gatsby, and my dad constantly said, "Oh, you know, just read like the whole thing, then you will enjoy it." I read the whole thing. I didn't enjoy it.
I mean, that's still a weird mentality, though. Read the whole thing, and then
apparently it's better in one sitting. I didn't have enough time to do it in one sitting. So
I'm not saying one sitting. Dear God, no.
I'm talking about The Great Gatsby here.
Well, sure, so I'm not saying one sitting for any book, really.
God.
Mm-hmm. Well, my dad was, and that was the point of the story.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
slow burn that you enjoy reading like chapter after chapter, like casually in general.
Exactly. See, this is the thing that this is the reason that I like books and my brother doesn't, because my brother points out that for him books are too long most of the time because it takes forever to get to the end of them. However, you know, I like to enjoy like the actual journey of that. So for me, that's an advantage. So that's a difference as well.
Well, I mean, it depends, and I guess just because it's on the screen, House of Leaves, for instance, it's technically 700-something pages. I forget the exact number. However,
technically,
this is what I was about to get to. I mean, technically, because that may be the page number, but it's actually like 200 less pages or so, because some bits are deliberately made in normal prose, or even wonky, but still filling up the whole page, and other pages are intentionally designed to make you fly by pages at like lightning speed with like a handful of words on one page. Right. And so it highly depends on the type of book, because different books are slow burns, like you're thinking, Aiden, where it's like bit by bit, and others are wanting you to go much faster, and that's really comes down to an artistic choice.
I will say that my dad and I agree about something about The Great Gatsby. The sooner you're done with it, the better. Well, I wonder if we'll say the same thing for this video, because we were getting at our actual knowledge of these different franchises. No one mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh, so hopefully the chat will fill us in about these things.
Oh, I know what thing about Undertale.
I only plan to discuss things that will things that will like come up as like contradictions in this, if there happen to be any that I notice, which who knows.
Oh, by the way,
immediately I can say that Sand's not involved in the series.
By the way, you know what's funny? The other day, I ended up watching clips of like the true pacifist ending of Undertale, like yesterday. Okay. Like last night, I was literally watching this. So Coincidence? I think not. The universe. The universe.
I quite like the flawed pacifist the best in my opinion, but
The flawed pacifist. Oh.
Yeah, this
I don't
wasn't
know.
an indictment on like which run was the best. Aiden is saying he was watching a certain run, he was not giving his. For once, Aiden was saying that he was watching something without giving his overall evaluation of the project.
Yeah.
of the
I know.
product,
I'm just giving. I know.
Which
I'm
honestly, let's take that gifted horse, not look it in the mouth, and start the video.
Sure.
So without further ado, on with the review.
By the way, is this like a gacha background? Where did they actually get this background from?
I don't know.
The internet
Only
background?
custom.
On to the video.
On to the
Okay,
video.
Stan. Oh,
Okay.
Yugi. Why is the music so dramatic? Like, God, the music drama went up to like a 0 to 100 in a second.
Well, I don't know. A man just. I don't know. A boy just fell through a dimensional portal. I feel like that.
Yeah,
invites
like-
a certain amount of stakes to it.
But dang, this is like boss music. Or like characters
Okay.
are dying and the characters witnessing it. It's like, oh no, what do I do? My friends are dying right before my eyes. I gotta save them somehow.
To be fair, for Yu-Gi-Oh, whenever like the pharaoh's involved, they sometimes will just drop this at random. So, what is that design? I don't know. I feel like it's somewhat reminiscent. It's less spiky than I would have possibly gone with.
I mean, the outline black isn't helping, but
I think that actually isn't outline black. I can actually see the hair outlines above it. So I think it's
Oh.
well.
Really?
Unless you mean the shirt, because I was talking about the hair. If you mean the shirt, then maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess. Well, he's very fun. He's small on the screen. He's a small boy.
All right.
Where are
Anyways,
we, Pharaoh? Oh, what's the Pharaoh design gonna look like? Oh,
I don't
he's
know.
invisible.
Well, I mean, yeah. I will say the pharaoh is either invisible at times, or he appears like a transparent entity alongside Yugi. It depends.
I'm so used to
My
KW's version where we actually get to see him on screen.
question. So it says like Pharaoh. What are we? What does it mean by that?
It means Egyptian king. What do you think pharaoh means, BB?
That's a great question because depending on what you're taking the inspiration from, it means a lot of different things.
This is taking inspiration from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right. What I'm saying is,
Pharaoh.
what does Yu-Gi-Oh to do with the concept of a pharaoh? Like, is that
A lot,
accurate at all to
actually.
anything?
Like
Yeah,
a significant amount of things, actually.
Okay.
I'm not a
because-
Yu-Gi-Oh fan, but I know that's a big thing in the Yu-Gi-Oh story, or at
Well,
least one of the animes. It's a
Because
major
historically
part
it
of
is. Well, because I mean, historically, right? It was obviously Egyptian king, but also possibly
Yes.
believed to be a descendant from the gods. Then you have
Uh-huh.
the more mythological elements. Then you have like the Christian elements, and it's all very different. And depending on,
I feel like KW listening to Junior rant on the Fallen Angels reviews.
I know,
Well,
right?
it's not a rant; it's a genuine question because depending on.
Well, we've
the
answered the
information-
question. We answered the question multiple sentences ago, and
Yeah.
you're still talking.
No, but you're just saying like what does Yu-Gi-Oh like for like what
Egypt.
are they taking for inspiration? Is it like historical
Egypt.
Egypt or other stuff?
Egypt.
Okay, so historical Egypt or
Well, no, it's not modern Egypt. I don't think they have pharaohs anymore. Take the
yeah,
hits.
right. What I'm saying is that different things create pharaohs in different ways based on different pretenses and biases. And so that means that modern media, when they're writing these things about history, they are often not actually about history, but about those biased other takes. And
Wait,
sometimes a
you
mixture.
mean to tell me that the ancient Egyptians didn't actually play a game called Duel Monsters that got remade into a children's card game years later after a man explored an ancient?
I have no. I don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh. I have no idea.
You mean
what
this isn't
is it
realistic?
like.
You mean it's not based on real life? What a surprise!
Right, but presumably they would still be taking the inspiration from somewhere.
Yes, they are! They're taking it from the concept of pharaohs in Egypt! The thing that everyone thinks about when they think of pharaohs!
Yeah, but that's not what everyone thinks about.
Okay, everyone except you, apparently.
Well, no, because that's what I think about. But if you were asked, like a handful of Christians, you're gonna say like sorcerer for Satan. Like there's a difference.
Why would I ask Christians about pharaohs?
Because that's a pretty integral story. It's like one of the most famous stories in the book.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Wow!
So,
Look, it said Azaku. Azaku.
Azaku.
oh my goodness. Can I just remind everyone that Aiden was once the voice of this man in a comic dub?
I voiced. Look, okay.
And he mispronounced all of the characters' names.
Yeah, by the way,
I wasn't corrected.
that's an I.
Lidacoon. Lidacoon, is that you?
Well,
Right, that's an I, not an A. Where are you getting Azuku from?
I'm used to referring to him as Deku. Okay.
Ezekiel Midoriya.
Ezekiel.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
that was from Sword Art Online Abridged. Not Sword Art Online Abridged. Sorry, from My Hero Academia Abridged, made by people who made Sword Art Online Abridged. Anyway, okay, let's try asking them. Maybe they know. Excuse me. Oh, I was gonna give you.
You voiced
your
Yugi,
role
I'll
as
voice
Deku.
Deku.
Yeah, of course, yeah, naturally. All right.
BB, you got
Excuse me,
Uraka.
do you know what this place is? I'm kind of lost.
Oh, right, I'm
It's
Uraka. Well, you're not in front of Uraka High anymore.
Uraka
High, yes, she's taken over. Principal Nezu retired, and now Uraka's taken over. That's
I
not
do
a spoiler,
recognize-
KW. That doesn't happen.
That's not a real thing.
No,
That didn't
I do
happen.
recognize this is some a different thing, but the fact that she's the first person to mention him by name, I decided this is the best approach. It's an artistic choice. To be wrong.
Okay.
So, what's your quirk? Real natural dialogue.
I
what's
love
your quirk,
yeah,
man?
wait, what?
Okay, to be perfectly honest, actually, that feels like in character for Izuku to say. Not gonna lie, because like
Okay,
the first time you
sure.
meet somebody being like, "Oh hey, welcome to UA. What's your quirk? Let me write everything down about you and all your stats."
To be fair, okay,
yeah.
yes,
Man,
but it doesn't
you
help
look
that
better
there's...
than Onchan. Oh man, I love that guy.
To be fair, if that is accurate, fine, but there's still an uncomfortable juxtaposition between the fact that first off he looks very calm, but also there's this big epic music. Everything's standing still, and it's a fairly average conversation.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, the music helped at the beginning with the portal, but I definitely would have faded out by this point. Yeah. Anyway. What's a quirk? Also, why am I talking now? I'm inside of his head. I haven't taken over yet.
Speaking of juxtapositions, that's a question, and yet there's a period.
It's like a superpower.
Yeah.
Does this count?
Again, there needs to be.
No,
period.
your children's
it's
card
fine.
game does not count.
I summon Slifer, the executive producer.
Swiper, no swipey.
Okay.
Swiper, no swipey.
Aiden, to be fair, Aiden, I know you're laughing at like, oh, that's not a quirk, that's not a superpower. To be fair, from the little bit I know about Yu-Gi-Oh, because I watched like an episode 2 and then turned it off immediately because it's boring. But
And somehow you managed to find 0 pharaohs, but okay.
yeah, well, because it would just show up every once in a while whenever I woke up on cable TV, and I was like, man, this sucks, and I turned on to SpongeBob. Sorry, Yu-Gi-Oh fans, but also if you were to ask, I'm looking at this right, and where this feels like a valid like you're told, oh, a quirk is like a superpower. Yeah, summoning dragons from your card. That's a valid guess, I think.
Except for the fact that they are canonically holograms, so
Yeah.
it very much doesn't count in
Oh,
reality.
are they? Oh, that's
Yes.
lame.
To be fair, it's more interesting than looking at people like sitting like on like a Pokemon, like a real IRL Pokemon card match.
Yes, but
That's
yeah,
how
that
it
is
would
the
look
reason that they
if it-
exist.
It would be so boring to watch the anime. It's like, oh my god, wow, you're just putting cards on a board and screaming attacks. This
Yeah,
is
but isn't
so interesting to watch.
Yeah, but isn't Yu-Gi-Oh just like from the bit I saw, it was like worst Pokemon. I wasn't even into the Pokemon show, so
I mean, there's that's the certain amount of credence to that.
Also, I personally wouldn't count this as a superpower just because you're using tech. That's like calling Batman. That's like saying Batman has superpowers because he has a grappling hook.
okay.
Yeah.
If we want to talk semantics, technically
that
does have
Mabel
powers and
Pines has a
continuities,
superpower then.
Yeah, you know.
But in my
Grappling
defense,
hook.
I genuinely thought this was way cooler than it is. I thought he was summoning actual dragons, not that they're just
No.
holograms.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, well, see, here's the thing: the ancient Egyptians in Yu-Gi-Oh actually played the game with real monsters.
That's pretty rad.
But yeah, yeah. I summon Slifer, the dragon PNG from Temu.
Oh no, not Timu.
Oh,
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh would have. I need a Yu-Gi-Oh spinoff about NFTs.
Oh, actually, funny you should say that. In episode 83 of the Abridged series, Kaiba announces Blue Eyes White Dragon NFTs, and then gets booed and immediately goes back on his decision.
Man, genuinely,
That's about right.
they can make a halfway
Yeah.
decent. They can make a halfway decent episode all about trafficking, but with NFT Yu-Gi-Oh dudes Pokemon. So what do they call their Pokemon equivalent?
The
What are
problem,
these?
the problem is that if you look at the actual series, is all the cards are in fact physical, so that kind of defeats the purpose of storing something on a blockchain.
What are they though? That's what, because they're not Pokemon, obviously. What are they?
No, they are monsters. They are
Oh, they're actually just
they are
called
monsters
monsters.
from
They
the
don't have
game.
a cool name or
yes,
anything.
from the game. Yeah, well, yeah, the game is technically called Duel Monsters. They're monsters
Okay.
you duel with. There you go.
Okay.
Man, it's almost like pocket monsters. Monsters you put in your pocket.
Right.
Or digital monsters.
Or digital monsters. Yes, exactly.
real
is
beast
the trend.
there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I forgot one thing I was going to point out before we moved on. Actually, Yugi hasn't actually like the Pharaoh talked before, but he hasn't like transformed into the Pharaoh. So as far as I'm concerned, Izuku no Uraka didn't hear a word of what Yami said. That's the rules. Anyway,
What?
later.
Okay, we're just cutting away, I guess.
You summon one of the Egyptian god cards, and you get admitted to UA automatically. There you go.
Man, again, to be
Well,
fair,
you're
if they
saying-
don't know
I'm
the
pretty
nature
sure-
of that
I'm
thing, they
pretty
just
sure
saw the
Heroes
dude
know.
summon a dragon. In their defense, that's probably a
Yes,
fair
but they're
call.
students. They don't have the authority to admit someone into
Yeah.
into UA.
No, but okay. Here's the thing. Yes, look, that would require an actual episode's worth of substance to include them
Yes.
going to teachers, and then the teachers
This
would
one,
look at
ideally.
it, and then there's a whole like actual arc, and something is happening. You have to prove it, and there's actually a thing. You can't just jump cut to things, you know. And so that's kind of why it wasn't included, because then you have to put in too much substance.
I see.
But I like substance in my gotchas. I want
Yeah,
them.
and meanwhile we skip to I guess Yugi has assimilated his existence to this new dimension now, and has thoroughly decided to enroll himself in the first school
Why
that he
would
came
you-
across.
Listen, I'm just saying, if I got thrown through a portal, I wouldn't just enroll myself in a random school. I'm like,
No,
this
that's not the
is
first
smart.
one I saw.
I'm not
Like, yes,
enrolling
we
myself.
know. Yeah, we know that UA is the most prestigious hero academy, but Yugi doesn't. At least I don't think so.
I'm like,
Unless
I'm gonna
Deku
be-
told him.
If I got portaled into another world, I'd be running
probably
around
told
like a headless chicken, looking for a way to get home. And be like, I ain't going to a school for this. I'm just
Yeah, pretty
I'm trying to
much.
go home. That's what.
Yeah. By
Man.
the way, we've got a complaint here. What they do to Bakugo? I'm more concerned what they did to Mina. They've apparently gender swapped Mina, and she is now Mino.
Oh no.
Apparently.
Hey, you know who? Hey, okay. So speaking of gender swapped, all right. If we can get Froppy in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait, shouldn't
So-
Rocky
Let's say
be in
the,
the class?
one of the things that does linger with BB is that My Hero Academia was responsible for realizing that she wasn't straight.
Yeah, male Froppy was my gay awakening.
Wait, no, okay, but like, where's the Invisible Girl too? Like, shouldn't she be in the class?
She is in the class.
Well, I mean,
There's not an empty desk where you could say, "Oh, she's invisible."
She's
Well,
just
I mean-
standing up. Also, Aiden, there's a lot of people who are missing from this shot. Like, half of Class 1A is missing right now. If we go through all of them, we'd be here forever.
Yeah. And I think really the
Oh,
reason
hey,
it
my
took
tip, oh.
and I think really the reason it took so long, because here's the thing, even after that, like I didn't suddenly start looking at like men in like middle school or whatever. It wasn't until like halfway through high school, if not like the last year, where they started to look halfway decent. And I think the fact of the matter is that men below that just have no style.
Okay.
And so that's the reason it took so long there.
Well, you were also surrounded by trash men, so you know.
Well, no, that's not it, because there were plenty of very hot
I was
men
going
that
to say,
were
yeah,
also
trash men that
awful
she found
people.
attractive. That's the complete opposite, Aiden.
Yeah, like some of the hottest people in school were also racists.
I think Adri can relate to, not necessarily the racist part, but them being not good people.
Yeah, like you can look great and still not be like, you know,
A great
romantic.
person, yes, exactly. Yeah, there's inner and outer beauty for a reason.
Yes.
Okay, but by the way,
Speaking of inner beauty, I hope Bug has a lot of that, but KW has still something to say about that, I think.
Mm.
Segues.
by the way, look at all the men's eyes and all the women's eyes. They're all pretty much the same, minus Azawa's.
Aizawa. Well, Aizawa has like the permanently tired eyes, so his eyes
Yeah.
are like intrinsic.
But like no, but here's the thing: like all the men's eyes in the shots are like eyes 2. I think that's eye 2. I think that's
No, it's
or 4.
not.
No, it's
Might be
4. That's eye
actually.
4.
It's 4.
That's
yeah,
eye
size
4, and like the girls are like eye 6, I think.
By the way, KW, you might want to fix your icon.
Which that's kind of annoying
I
because
know,
like
but-
there isn't diverse eye shapes; they're just all the same eye shape.
I'm not on my
On that
computer.
note, KW has something.
I'm not on my computer right now because I am still trying to clean up my room to bed. So,
Oh, sure.
but so let's talk about Bakugo here. There's a problem with his design. Like everyone that has terrible designs. I mean,
Everyone looks so
Kirishima.
generic for some reason.
Kirishima's might be okay. I can see why they have issues with it, but at the same time, it's just they could have done so much better, you know. But Bakugo here, I think he got the worst of the worst. I mean, look at his hair and the hair color, and it's just like he looks like a girl.
I don't really think he looks like a girl.
Wait, hold on a
honestly.
second. That actually reminds me that in the Abridged series, Ida actually thinks that Bakugo is a girl at first
Well,
until he
and-
starts speaking.
Right, and that's a decent segue to actually address what Aiden said, because he mentioned, oh, they all look the same for some reason. There's some immediate things that I see that are like, oh, this could be part of the reason, right? Part of it is because it's gacha, and not necessarily against just gacha as itself, but also because with it being gacha, there are limitations that obviously we at Buttercore managed to address through, you know, actually like talented animators and stuff. But the fact of the matter is that
Or just experience and knowing how to circumvent those things in creative
well,
ways.
yeah.
not just that, and talent. And I'm gonna say talent for that because I mean you have things like the remake where one of my favorite shots in all of the Mutant Girl actually is the one where you have, I think it was Morena walking down the front of the class and you could see behind all of the tables.
The sea of empty desks that William didn't bother to fill in.
Wait, I also just realized something very wrong with this scene.
Well, I don't.
Yes.
Where are the chairs?
Oh, yeah, you're
That
right.
I will also excuse a little bit because with
In Gacha Life, there were this desk was posed with no chair behind it.
Wait, is this Gacha
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah, this is Gacha Life. This was made 4 years ago, so
Wait, but I thought the title said
which
club.
also actually
Yeah, it does.
the original
Is
title
it
does say Gacha Club. So this might have been a first attempt at Gacha Club with somebody who hasn't learned the interface properly yet.
this may be club actually. Oh my god.
But no, I mean,
If this is club, how do you fail so bad at club? If
Explains
this
the
was-
noses.
But
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though. If this was made in Club, you can make your design so much better. Like I was thinking this was in Gacha Life. Because in Gacha Life, there were a lot more limitations in Gacha Club. So I'm like, oh well, it's Gacha Life. I mean, at least I can understand some of the limitations there and stuff. No, you have a lot more possibilities. I primarily use Gacha Club, and
I broke Aiden.
Apparently, yeah.
yeah, but no, I mean, part of it is the fact that it's all. It's too logical, and what I mean by that is that if you really look at a classroom, and we're disregarding the fact that they usually aren't formatted like this either way, but it's also just, it feels too close together. It feels too straight across. It feels too perfect in a way that normally isn't. And so that kind of adds to the samey. Also doesn't help that they are literally connected. I mean, look at like all of their like desks, except for these front two, who also have like the exact same hair color and everything, and head shape, which is another thing. All of them have the same head shape. As you mentioned, they all have the same eye type. And then if you want to get into beyond just representation, there's also the fact that, and I think I don't know if My Hero Academia had the same issue or not, but My Hero Academia also had like a big animation and everything. They could afford a lot happening, and so you had a lot of different voices and things were happening. But whenever you have something like this, there's also kind of the aspect of once everything feels too samey, there is an aspect of whenever everyone is, everyone minus Mino has like the exact same skin color. It's that adds this samey aspect. Because I mean, it doesn't, because they have the same head, they have the same eye, they have the same skin. These two have the same hair color, minus this one streak, which isn't enough for me. I mean,
also, I don't.
And then they're even also wearing the same outfits.
The school uniform isn't helping.
Right? That's what I just
well,
mentioned.
they're wearing the same outfits. Why might that be?
I wonder if maybe their school uniforms, like in the show.
Yeah, I was with you, BB, until you mentioned the outfits. Then you lost me. But before
but my thing is that if you have all these other
except
issues...
Mino. Mino's got a black tie. Everyone else is red.
Yeah, why is Mino the only exception in here?
That's always the bother.
I think they just misspelled Mina. I don't think they intended it.
I'm rolling with it until they make the change.
And even Maya's like, oh, the uniforms are pretty close, actually. Here's the thing. I get it. It's a school setting. I know My Hero Academia, they have the same outfits. I know the outfits look pretty... I've seen enough to know that. But the fact of the matter, when you have everything else looking like this, and you have everything else feeling this way, there's some give and take here. You could have given them different outfits. At the very least.
Or at least more unique
Why would they?
Why would they?
Because you have all these other issues. If you aren't going to fix those, at least bother to make different outfits.
Okay, but why would somebody make the decision to, instead of fixing the issues, assuming that they're aware those issues exist and they know how to circumvent them but just don't, why would they not decide to just fix those issues instead of creating a separate one, which was uniform inaccuracy?
Well, because I mean, at that point, it's not an issue. Because if you actually
that feels like putting out a fire by lighting a separate fire next to it.
Yeah, but changing the outfit is not a fire. Who's going to throw a tantrum over the outfits looking? Well, because if you have to look at it, because if you use your brain for and if say they all had different outfits, if you actually use your brain, like but none of their outfits are right, and then you think about it, it's like but if they were right. Would that really be better?
I will say this. They have their hero costumes, so they might end up wearing them later, or we might see them outside the school setting, in which case they will put on their other outfits, their regular clothes. That's how the show works.
Yeah, they have, like, in the show, like, regular clothes, uniforms, gym outfits, and then their hero costume. That's pretty much it. So, since they're technically in school, they probably either going to change into either their gym outfit to make it all fair, or in their hero costume to train in their hero costume to understand, what it's like to be a hero.
Yeah, this is the
What it's
first
like.
frame of these characters, so there is room for other things to happen, including Mina's
I
name
mean,
being fixed.
I personally think that the part of the issue is some of the reused elements. Like, for example, look at the front hair of Deku is the same front hair that Bakugo uses. Not to
No,
mention,
it's not.
it is the same front hair.
No, it's not.
Actually,
the
it
re-
isn't.
Is it? Why
No.
is it so similar though?
Because Gacha has similar front hairs, and that's been a known thing for years. I don't know what's
Well,
telling you.
why would you put them in the same? What? Yeah, well, they're two.
Hey, look, Kachan, we're matching. Never say it to me ever again.
I didn't say Gacha was a bad medium in this stream. I mean, it's true, but I didn't say that.
Yeah, that's gonna say that meme has not been reinforced until right now. The last time that was thought about was actually years ago, I think. But yeah,
Like the
also
issues that I
another thing-
mentioned are perfectly fixable within Gacha.
And yeah, another thing that I want to ask about that now we're addressing the chat finally is what on earth are trade eyes?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean like that? Oh, you mean like they should trade eyes? Okay, I read that wrong. Okay, fine. Sorry, that's my bad.
What?
The reason all the boys' eyes are mad and the girls aren't because I guess the girls have.
No, the girls are matching eyes.
more-
No, it's a Matt is a
That's- that-
different term, Aiden.
Yeah, it doesn't say matching.
Oh, matte eyes.
Yeah, the reason is because girl characters must have more pronounced eyelashes or bows in hair. Because,
God! Oh my God! I remember this bit. Okay, this was a thing.
But
So for
throw
those
in
of
hair
you,
for
for those of
character,
you
therefore
who watched,
girl.
I am.
for
just
those of you who watched
going to-
like Aphma's stuff, and this obviously was a big thing, like pretty quickly after. But Aphma was kind of the first one to really get into like the super high definition skins, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and we'll just start doing it too. If you actually went to go look at the Gumroad, right, of the person who was kind of like making a lot of that stuff happen, if I recall correctly, the eyelashes.
trash this is.
Yes. The eyelashes, if I recall, were for like specifically like women, and it was like the implication of men don't have eyelashes, and that just tickled me and Shorty so much.
Well, remember, in the case of Aphmau, the characters currently don't have noses except for the werewolves. So,
Oh God.
I guess it's not out of the question.
Well, okay, like there's a mod in Minecraft where you can snip off a villager's nose with shears. I think Aphma did that to all her characters. She just
Why
took
would you?
shears.
Why would you
And
do
it's
that?
snip-
I don't
off.
know. I'm just going.
It's great. You know, it's a great mod.
Maybe there's a mod that puts Nicolas Cage's face on everything. People make mods for a variety of reasons.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
You
now
know, it
because
does
I
make
have to
shears
find
more
my face.
useful, though. You know, you
Bye-bye.
can snip noses off people.
She's actually a very underrated Minecraft tool. But anyway,
Oh, that's cool.
You
So
don't have to murder all the sheeps all the time.
on StreamYard, you can actually, if you click the comments category and you see the live chat, there's also a star to chat option where it's just the paid chats like Ghosty did.
actually, that's not exclusively true. I can actually put like the star on any comment, and that would also appear there.
Oh, that's cool.
The paid ones are automatically starred.
Okay. I still think that's pretty good though for visibility.
You can make your shipping shrines. Yes, all of us here have made shipping shrines. Of course. we
Yeah,
have.
you know, my shipping shrine between Deku and Bakugo, because that's what I ship all the time. 10 out of 10
Of
would
course.
ship.
Yes.
I don't know that
I
I,
swear-
ship
I
most
swear
things
so-
in
so-
general, much less make a shrine.
Someone's gonna
occasional
think I
sprinkle of
actually ship
Todoroki.
them. Oh, well, there
Good.
is...
Baku Deki?
I hate this.
Deki?
What?
Deki? Hold on a second.
What Billy did you just
Well,
summon in chat?
wait, is it... I think it's like Todoroki, Deku, and Bakugo.
Bokotho, Tanoi Caraxis, Todo Baku Deki.
Right? It fits.
Well, it's a thruple ship. You know, we have Todoroki,
It's
Deku,
called Toadie. It takes the
Bakugo.
form of like a toad creature.
Oh, that would be it.
That's Froppy's.
No, we have a Hatchetfield OC now. It finally happened.
God.
Yeah, and it was on the wrong channel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
You
well.
know what? I want to do a stream one day. I want to do a stream where we act as where we each play one of the sillies on the Butter Bunch, where we role play each one of the sillies.
I know.
I can start the stream by going "Hello, Fwendy Wens" again, which always seems to go down well with the audience every time I do that.
It's an iconic quote.
Hello, Fwendy Wens. Yeah. We'll see if we'll see if any of us can keep up the voices for the entirety of the runtime. But yeah, the waifu shrine is an amazing idea. Oh, good grief! to my loves, they call it the waifu corner. Okay, okay. And with that, we're moving on.
we have a new student today. Oh my god!
Staying here a while.
He's staying here like he lives there.
Also,
he's got no house right now, so kind of.
Wait a minute. I don't think My Hero Academia. I don't think the cat. I don't think that's a boarding school.
Well, okay. Here's what I'm gonna have to actually slightly here. Minor spoilers, by the way. Minor spoilers that at one point they actually do move the students into two shared houses, one for the girls, one for the boys, I think, and
two houses, both for dignity.
Yes, which is to say none at all. Yeah, you're correct, exactly. Yeah. So that did kind of happen. It wasn't like part of the school itself; it was arranged by the school. So there you go. All right. Anyways, hey there. My name is Yugi Muto, or Moto, depending on the dub you're watching, and my quirk is something similar to summoning.
See, I saw that and I was like, oh, Muto.
Muto? Can you demonstrate?
You can demonstrate on the field.
I thought he was about to say you could just demonstrate it now. I was about to be like, oh wait, you're just summoning it now.
We're now on the field. Okay, also for the record, I know that this is going to be interesting. He's lying about the fact that it's a quirk now. I wonder what's going to happen if Aizawa activates his quirk, which is to erase other people's, emission quirks if they have them. Is he going to notice that Yugi can still summon monsters without that?
Also, I hate how Yugi is taking this whole situation. Look how happy he is. Yugi this whole time has taken this like a champ, and it's kind of annoying. It's you're not going to freak out a little bit.
Hey, by the way, shout out to the geography of the shot. I do just want to point that out. This entire shot is quite nice.
That is true. Yeah, we actually have someone playing with distances. Normally, whenever someone plays with distances on Gacha, it's usually to have the characters, like bigger and closer. We rarely ever get smaller and further away. That is a nice thing to see.
So Ghosty brings up a question that I think I have a response for, but that depends. Because
the answer is kind of.
So it's UA University, right? So it's a college, yes, and it's not like a.
It's not a college. It's more like a high school. No, it's not a college.
Where do you? Yeah, okay.
Pretty sure it's a high school.
You're guessing university from the U in the name. I don't think that was why it was called UA. I think it stands for something.
Well, no, they said university even in this one. They said UA University in this video right at the start.
They didn't. I don't remember them saying university. I'm gonna rewind. I don't recall them saying university. Let's see. Let's try asking them. Maybe where they know. UA Hard.
Oh,
no, they didn't say it.
Yeah, it's like it's a high school.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
Hi, tiny dude.
On the field.
Okay, here we go.
Begin.
I will say that the main character's 40 and 50 in the first season, so yeah, they would never be in university.
What?
Why does that shock you?
The main characters were 40 or 50 in the first season?
14
15. Or 15.
Oh my god, thank God.
They're 50-year-olds going to high school. It's fine. It's normal.
Isomon, my ever-faithful companion. That's how you spell it, Somon.
Dark magician. Wow.
Dark magician. Wait, that's it?
What?
Go, Dark Magician! Dark Magic Attack! Okay, hold on.
I thought we were dealing with holograms!
Therefore, don't have no life points, so is he gonna get actually injured right now? Is he gonna get actually injured now?
I love how Bakugo's text is just blinding.
Well,
Whoa,
I thought
wow, so
it were holograms.
okay.
He just headbutted it.
Okay, again to explain, Bakugo's quirk involves him making explosions with his sweat because it's partially nitroglycerin. So that could have been a headbutt from him that was causing explosions to deflect the attack. That's why he's charging right now. Oh, pretty sure it's based on UA, which means hero. Oh, well, there you go.
That is both
All right.
stupid but kind of clever.
Well, I mean, do you want to know how Deku gets his nickname?
Sure.
Doesn't that mean
it's
like useless or something?
it's because the Izu kanji in Izuku's name also can spell De, so it becomes Deku. That was what Bakugo called him as an insult.
Ah.
It's basically his Cinderella name that he then reclaimed as his hero name.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, so
Also, the magician just got cut in half.
I hate this
switching to defense
transition.
position, of course, which looks very similar to the attack position.
Oh my god, it's... What? My turn. I don't think you go in turns. This isn't a card game. This isn't a turn-based card game, it's a sparring match.
Okay, so now we're getting a transformation from him. So now we get to see this happen, which probably will also have audio from the show, but... Yes, he's opening his hip-hop third eye. He believes in Elware.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
No, that actually happens in the show. He actually does yell that when he transforms.
Oh, we're in the white void now.
This might get muted later, depending on how long the clip is.
We'll see.
Yep, here we go.
Looks,
so now we get Yami Yugi, finally. After Yami spoke multiple times. I mean, well, ultimately Yami and Yugi do look very similar, but Yami is taller and has a smaller head. I don't know. Just interpret this as something akin to Koji's quirk, which into monsters that actually exist, sort of thing. Sort of like monster whispering. Yeah, if only the monsters actually shared an origin with those ones, but they don't. Anyway. Really? All that so you can just get taller? See, he noticed. He knows what's up.
So...
It did more than just making me look taller.
Okay, so... This one's not like a sarcastic one. This is genuinely just a question that's probably answered in Yu-Gi-Oh! Why is his name Yami Yugi now?
It's like a fusion, I think. It was like a fusion.
Okay, so in the in the lore, the way that Yugi actually finds the pharaohs is that he finally, after years of trying, solves this item called the Millennium Puzzle, which contains the spirit of this pharaoh, who not his actual real name, but he goes by Yami until he finds out his real name later. So yeah. At first, he was just the vaguely named King of Games. So like any game that he would excel at, and usually enact some divine punishment. You would like Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, I think, actually. But then once they switched over to mainly just having card games,
Sure.
Yeah, that was where the King of Games title came from. So every time that he plays a card game, he usually ends up transforming into the pharaoh.
Sure. Okay.
So Yami Yugi. Yeah.
That makes sense. I wasn't sure because I saw that and it did remind me of how Egyptian mythology would sometimes treat the gods, but I wasn't sure if that was what they were going for or not. Because it was a thing where, similar to how like Rome had different names for the gods or whatever, Egyptians would frequently by city have it where like they would believe that there were like amalgamations of the gods. So you would have like one god's name, and then you have the hyphen, then another god's name, and it would be treated as kind of like the same entity.
So like Dragon Ball fusions.
But yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that Yami was the ancestor of Yugi. I did forget to bring that up, but everything else, yeah. Yeah, mainly in dueling or serious situations. Or that one time he went on a date with Taya. You know, apart from that. I draw. I activate Pot of Greed. Allow me to draw 2 more cards. Oh, but I guess in this world, Pot of Greed has yet to be banned. By the way, I love that I said in the first like before we started that I was not gonna I didn't have that much knowledge about the series, and meanwhile I'm not explaining like most of the of the content for both of the franchises. Anyway,
Jacob the Nerd Whisperer.
that's my quirk. Yeah, I activate Magic Formula.
Oh, okay,
Increase
Mr.
Dark
Krabs.
Magician's strength.
I didn't know we were adding SpongeBob to the list.
Well, we've had Undertale before, so why not at this point? Next, I activate... By the way, Bakugo is way more patient than I would have given him credit for. At this
This
point,
is
he
not
probably
a
would have like, blown him
turn-based
up.
thing! This isn't turn-based!
I would love it if, like, while this is happening, it goes like, next, I activate... oh!
Okay.
Like, these are 2 different battle systems. Like, we're going off, UA Academy's, like, kind of, like, sparring rules, which are more akin to, like, superhero, like, training matches where, like, 2 heroes are, like, testing their abilities on each other in a constant battle, versus a turn-based card game where you have to wait for the other person to do what they're... You can't combine.
Yeah, see, this is actually a frequent problem that I ran into back in my more fanfic writing days, actually, where I used to do a lot of crossovers, and yeah, so it was an issue that we run into all the time where the things just would not cross over properly because the worlds are so very different to each other. It's one thing that you learn eventually the hard way.
I disagree, actually. I think you can join them, and this is why. Because... And I think it comes down to actually the setting and the culture that My Hero Academia comes from, right? I don't know what it's like in modern Japan, obviously, but I know, historically speaking, that obviously you would have a big, heavy emphasis on honor, and you would have very particular rules and criteria.
Counter argument, Bakugo.
Sure, but other counter argument. In historical Japan, it don't matter.
We're not in historical Japan. We're in
right. What I'm saying is that you can take
Japan,
these elements of Japan's culture and its foundational history, and you can make these sorts of things work. Like that's why, for instance,
if My Hero Academia had done that and had drawn on those influences, we would be agreeing with you right now. But it didn't, so we're not. Yeah, it doesn't.
And also,
make sense
it's not even like before this battle they agreed on it. Hey. We both make moves, in a turn-based system. And they didn't agree on that. He just started doing things in a turn-based way, and Bakugo's like, dang, okay, go off, I guess. Go off.
That's fair. I will concede.
Bakugo is the equivalent of all of those like antagonists in Magical Girl series that wait politely for them to transform.
Well,
I want once for the transformation to get interrupted by somebody just like getting like a laser blast of the face. Just one time.
This aspect of Star Wars has kind of disappeared, but for those of you who don't know, Star Wars was heavily influenced at the beginning by 2 things. One was Dune, and the other was, again, Japanese culture. And that's why the episode 4 fight was so slow, and it was very turn-based with Vader and Obi-Wan. Not just because they're both old, but because it was heavily inspired by the idyllic fight between two master swordsmen, 2 samurai, 2 warriors on the battlefield that respect each other's prowess and weren't intending to be unfair. And in the books, you'll find that's why a lot of things where people see people like, oh, why don't you just do this with lightsabers? The books generally answer those sorts of things where it's like, it would be unfair or it would be cowardly or whatever. So that's one of those reasons for that.
I mean, Jedi Knights do have a lot of training, and codes of ethics that they follow.
I mean, the prequel fights are better.
They are, but that's why it wasn't like that since the beginning, and so I think we could have done this with this, but I do concede that they could have solved this with 1 line. They could have absolutely just agreed before here. I don't know why they didn't.
Because they're trying to combine 2 different battle systems that are very different.
Because I don't think Bakugo
not
would
acknowledging
have
how different they are.
No, but the
Honestly-
thing is though, like it could have.
Okay, honestly, you know what should have happened? You know what should have happened? I think instead of no, here's how it would have worked. If he were fighting somebody else that isn't Bakugo right now, like for example, say that Deku is here. First of all, Deku would have a vested interest in like actually like taking a note of how someone else's quirk works, especially within this setting. He loves to do that before he makes a move. Other people, more so out of morbid curiosity, potentially. Yaoyorozu, Kirishima, for example, they would probably also politely wait, for example. But Bakugo was the worst choice for this specific setup, if we're going with the idea of someone agreeing to do a turn-based thing.
Steve reposted one of the comments she said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, Bakugo was attacking and Yama-Yuga was fast casting his cards. The problem is that by the rules of Duel Monsters, you have to verbally state what all your cards do, so you'd have to be like talking at 1,000 miles an hour at the same time.
If this were voice acted, that could have actually been that is actually like a halfway decent idea. I think that could have actually increased the tension. But
the swords were revealing.
I activate Micro Machine Man to read out my cards in future.
Well, no, I like the idea of like they're having the fight and then he's like frantically, like quickly and almost like kind of like stuttering his way through card names and just like yelling them out and shooting them out.
The swords are revealing light.
You have a spear, but okay. Oh,
yeah. By the way, I just did my I just recorded my lines for Shadow Duels episode 4. So now I have another.
Guys, it's Undyne.
Oh my god! Oh no! Undyne.
I remember this attack.
That's why Sans was at the beginning of this.
Is he in a cage? Wait, I guess he's in a cage. I mean, I didn't think there were swords behind him as well.
What's going on? Why can I move? He should have done this in the beginning. Then he would have had a reasonable excuse to wait. The swords of revealing light prevents humans and other creatures from moving. There's no use trying to escape. Go! Dark Magician! Dark Mag!
Right, pull out the Glock!
Oh no!
There's no use trying to escape. Quick, get the gun!
also, while he's trapped, why isn't he trying to like cause an explosion and maybe destroy the swords? I don't know.
Because he can't move, remember?
Yeah.
At all, dang.
Come on, we gotta hurry.
What? We gotta
just
hurry.
yelled
Kill
what
him.
it does.
Kill him. Kill him. Now.
We'll continue this later.
No, we do it now. That's what you're here for.
The alarm's going off. Oh, by the way, they never did change their gym uniforms. At least Bakugo didn't.
In the halls.
Oh. Okay, before we look at this great thing, I'm gonna say, okay, before we talk about this real quick, generally speaking, though I don't get like the dual logic here.
Right, hold on.
They're holograms. They don't have any effect on real life people. Like, why are the dual monster being able to actually attack people? They're not able to do that. You know.
Okay, hold on. I need to.
Anyways, he looks beautiful in Gacha.
I need to pull up an image of what a Nomu actually looks like to give people a frame of reference.
He went from sexy Birdman to bird thingy. I don't know what that thingy is.
I don't think they were ever supposed to be sexy Birdman, but there you go.
I don't know. Don't people? Think
I have to tell you,
I don't know.
I love, because I was like, surely there's got to be a funny translation to this name. And I don't know if any of these are right, but all of the options are hilarious. Okay. I looked up Nomu translation. The first thing, which I'm almost sure is wrong, but I think it's funny, is Corsican, which says Nomu means first name.
We love that.
There's first name. Someone on Reddit says no brain. Japanese Pod 101 has like something about soup. JLPT means to drink. Another one says to drink. Another is like to drink. So it's probably to drink. So it's a bird coming to drink, which I think is also quite humorous.
And also, by the way, wasn't Deku on the field watching that fight? How did he get here so fast? Like he instantly like tore here.
Because we transitioned to when they were in the halls a second ago.
Yeah. In the halls.
Yeah.
Because who would bother with transitions and actually doing stuff in between the action?
Who needs to actually like characters walking off screen when you just hard cut to something else?
Yeah, everyone knows the biggest complaint about books is there's too much walking. So the clear fix to this is to have no walking.
It's just weird teleportation.
It's the reverse Tolkien. Okay, here we go. This is what a Nomu looks like in the show.
Oh, I was thinking of a different character, I guess.
Oh yeah, you were thinking of Tokoyami, weren't you?
Yeah,
like the students. Yeah,
I was thinking of that character, not this character.
This is such a wild difference. One of them is just a weird-looking bird dude, and the other one is like a zombie mutant, like brain.
No, but like, no. Here's the thing, though. His pants are even the right color. His pants are gray now.
Oh
like,
my god, you're
right. Just gray pants. He has brown pants in the actual design. Why are there different pants colors?
That's like the one thing they could have fixed.
You could at least.
Also, the Nomu's wearing shoes in the gacha version. Why? Who's making shoes that are Nomu sized?
You don't have.
Oh, okay. Hey, maybe he has a custom designer like Jack.
Also, there is stuff you can put on someone's shoulders that is red. You could put like red, like there's like a red X thing you could put on someone's shoulder. Why not do that? To kind of cover.
His DC already took that.
No, not red X. So like, it's a shoulder thing you get to decorate a character with. Oh my god!
I know.
Also, Maya agrees that this looks more like Tokoyami. Yeah. Although then again, this is the first time we could change the head shape in a gacha.
Yeah, wait. So. I feel like the head should be more pink, anyways, because the head's kind of more pink than it is black.
No,
because
the head looks like
the brain's
brain.
exposed. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is the brain exposed.
Okay.
Which is it's a very obvious weakness for a Nomu now that you think about it. They never actually tried that, I don't think. Anyway.
Poke him in his brain. That'll kill him, right?
No, it won't.
You'll give him a brain aneurysm.
You can operate just fine without certain bits operating fine.
Well, just read a medical journal. Read one of Doc's medical journals.
Right, like you have to know which part you're hitting,
I'm
for
sure he wrote down
I feel like
will kill you.
you know, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like a well-aimed Detroit smash would do enough damage to, just take out the brain.
If you take a hammer to it, sure, but if you're just like stabbing like a pike through it, it's not gonna affect as much as
that's a Chuckles joke, by the way. There's one moment where Chuckles is like bashing the skull of a corpse. It's like, I know the path of death now, a brain hemorrhage. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, a hammer will do the trick, but you can't have something pointy.
He does look like Pengu.
Hold on, you're saying if they don't use their brains there for show, that probably means that the no brain interpretation was the correct one that BB read earlier, and not to drink. I don't know why that was the one that she landed on.
because more things said that Nomu meant to drink.
Yes, but context. Anyways, I won't give up, even though I haven't started yet.
It is from Reddit, so
and also you're fighting your school uniform. Like dang. That must be uncomfortable. That uniform's not meant for
Well, yes, but okay, but since they didn't change their gym uniforms before, it makes sense for them not to be in their uniforms now. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but are they going to be like, 1 sec, I gotta change first. Okay, I'm ready to fight now. Smash! No.
Actually, he could probably take off the jacket to make it easier. Take off the jacket.
Potentially. at least that, but probably nothing else, I imagine.
KW says that Nomus gets smarter and uses their brain.
No moves. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, anyway, so we know that one for all, 37%!
Wait,
no,
man,
I forgot your Deku. Okay, continue.
One for all, 70, 30.
Oh my god. What amazes me is because Nomu had all those red markings on him and he doesn't have any. But they
I
gave
don't know.
some to this dude over here.
Well, when he uses
Yeah.
his powers, he kind of like bleeds a bit, and
Right, but what I'm saying is they
BB's,
were able
BB's
to do
point
that.
is they're physically able to put something on the
Oh,
characters
yeah.
and did not. Yeah. Anyway.
Detroit Smash. Wait, what? Detroit Smash.
Yeah, at this point he doesn't normally say Detroit Smash, that would give it away. He says Smash instead, which is obviously entirely different and very well disguised. Anyway.
Oof.
The
Okay.
swords.
Yep.
Those are the swords revealing light.
Izuku, I'll deal with him.
Are you sure I can just kill him right now? His brain's exposed. Or supposed to be exposed. I can just kill him.
No. It's fine. I'll summon some cards and do it myself. I'll bash
I
the Shadow
don't think
Realm.
he's gonna abide by your turn-based rule set.
Shadow
Okay.
Realm. Shadow Realm.
Okay, to be fair, that whole thing about like an honorable fight, I'll throw that out the window because what Yami Yugi just did is show up for one day, and then his go-to move is to simply make them immobile and then obliterate them in one shot. Right? Like there's nothing happening here. He's like, all right, Clear, you have to save me. All right, you can't move. Dragon, let's go.
Blue eyes, white dragon, eat his face. Nom nom.
Wrong character, but you know. Anyway.
Did you get anything good? No, I got horrible cards. I think we're gonna die.
I guess he now knows the draw-based system of duel monsters immediately. Yes, I did. My grandpa's deck has the pathetic cards, Deku, but it does contain the unstoppable whatever's I'm gonna summon next. I don't know. I activate Card of Sanctity. Allow me to draw until I have 6 cards in my hand.
Jesus.
I thought you started the game with 6
Why
cards.
can't you just draw 6 cards? There are no rules.
I thought there are plenty of rules. Duel Monsters has a ton of rules.
Yeah,
Aiden.
but you're in an alternate world. Why do those rules apply? Where's the referee that's gonna yell at you?
Well, he's the king of games. His own honor code is what is keeping him from diverting from the rules. He wins within the system, although he does get accused of cheating a lot because obviously the anime plays loose and heavy with the rules of the
What's the point
of the actual card game.
Also, just in Maya's defense, because I did just check, I copy and pasted this quote. So the exact quote is, while this exact bit does not have a citation, the paragraph that it is
sorry,
in...
are we referring to the part here about the aforementioned human experiments he's in
Yes.
normal races? I didn't put that on screen before because KW said not to trust the wiki, so I skipped that over. But yes,
Yeah. So
Maya was still talking about the Nomus for context for the chat.
Well, the thing is, don't trust Wiki on its own, but if there's a citation, it's usually good. So this specific quote does not, but the paragraph does. And so I am leaning towards the idea that this is not just from the Wiki, it comes from apparently chapter 262 of the manga and episode 115 of the anime.
Okay. We didn't get that far, I don't think. I think we got to like 60 something.
No.
But yeah, don't maybe come in there, Aiden. What did Aiden say?
What did I do?
I don't know.
What did I
say? I think we talked about the rules of Duel Monsters or something. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, I still think the fact that the cards can actually manifest in this world is weird. Okay, like they're holograms. They're not supposed to.
I think the dual discs. If I remember correctly, unless it's like I think it might be like the arenas themselves that are the hologram projectors, but I think the dual discs also have like a projection of some kind.
Yeah, but
I could be wrong on that.
It's
regard.
a hologram. Holograms can't touch you.
I like the idea of
Is the girl from Halo going to be able to punch me in the face?
Cortana.
Cortana gonna come after me with a holographic knife and stab me?
The blue naked girl that shows up as a hologram. Yeah.
I'm just saying, she cannot physically touch me, so good luck.
Sure. Hey, look, man. Master Chief is still in a loving relationship with her, apparently. But
this feels like Kirby's going through what Yugi goes through every time that Yang wants to take over now.
But
Also, yes, fine, come in. KW!
I do like
It is
I do like the
fine.
idea though of
Right.
the cards as like a fix to the whole hologram thing. You know, in Star Wars they have like the circle, like little pods, and that's where the holograms come out. I like the idea that on the cards they just like taped one of those on there, and so it's like blank, I choose you or whatever, and it get thrown out, and on this little pod it just shoots out.
All right, then where do I even begin? First of all, let's talk about how cards are still in effect. First of all, even though they're necessarily technically holograms, they still feel very real. Also, because guess what? There is such thing as a thing called magic. How do you think the shadow duels happened ages ago in ancient Egypt? So, if we take it into credit that this Yami Yugi, who is still having the pharaoh and stuff like that, well, I mean, Yami Yugi is the pharaoh, but Yugi, I mean, who has the pharaoh and stuff like that, uses a minute pump stuff like that, he still technically has magic.
Okay, but the question that I have actually is, this is the modern version of Duel Monsters invented by Pegasus, right? The one that wasn't designed from magic.
Yeah, this is a technology thing. It's not.
Okay. Even without knowing the full context, I've decided I'm gonna jump in.
Go ahead.
So
Why not?
I've decided that with probably not even half the information that I've cited with KW, because apparently, according to you guys, Yami Yugi is the pharaoh. So even though this version may be technology based, they would still technically have the knowledge for the magic version, and therefore it should still be valid, right?
But I'm
Well,
pretty
all
sure Yami
the
Yugi
game
and
is
anime
modeled
never
off it, so all
actually-
the rules, I believe, are the same. Of this, it doesn't matter. It's like saying, like, oh yeah, you have knowledge of how magic works, but you don't have the power to use it in that moment because you're not using the actual system. What you're saying implies that with every duel that Yami has led against different people, they have had the actual holograms, and he's been able to use the magic version that makes the monsters real the entire time. That doesn't feel right.
This is what I'm saying because that's the context that I got. So that's what I'm going with, and I'm stamping it down like it's a fact. It's an objective fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Yami Yugi, let's think about this here. Yami Yugi, technically, he mind crushes people, right? So that is technically...
Yeah, that's his power. That's not from the cards themselves, I don't think.
Not a card.
I'm not saying those are the cards. I'm just saying that that's his power, right? So what is to say here, because he's in a new world or whatever, he could easily use his magic or his power or whatever to do things with the cards.
Okay, well, that depends if he ever actually physically manifested the cards, or he just used the projections. Remember, in season 0, there were no projections. They still
keep in mind, we're also using a dual disc here. It's not like we're still using the dual disc throughout all these battles.
He can't use magic with a dual disc though. Like,
I feel like you would have to make something compatible.
Did he ever? But I don't. And also, I will say this though. I will say this though. Actually having the mind crush be his actual quirk, that could have been something, and that would have been a reason to go against Bakugo. His mind's already crushed enough.
Well, okay. Here's the thing.
The thing about quirks, though, quirks in this world, I'm pretty sure, are genetic. And it's not like when crossing the world, you became a natural part of the world and your body got reformatted to where it was like naturally born in this world at all. His world or reality didn't get rewrote as soon as he got in this world, so where he could have been...
but remember, he's currently lying about the whole quirk thing because that's why he's doing that to fit in. He's not actually saying he has a quirk properly. Kind of like how Deku lied about the nature of his quirk. It just seems to be part of the course with the main characters.
Yes, baby.
So, okay... Maybe he doesn't do the magic stuff during the normal thing, but is that evidence that he can't do it, or is that just poor writing?
I feel like he could. I feel like in the actual anime, if he could genuinely use this kind of magic on people, he would be like paralyzing like villains and stuff.
Yeah, here's the thing: he probably would
in the actual anime. I feel like this kind of thing would happen in the anime outside the card game without initiating a duel, just flat out paralyzing people with the swords, apparently.
Right, but what I'm saying is that
I just think it's bad writing. I just think the creator was like, oh, well, the duel monsters can hit each other. Therefore, in this world, the dual monsters are hitting people because we can't have the main character come in powerless. No.
Right,
We gotta
yeah.
give them the powers they have in the main.
Even though he already had powers. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. Where it's like it doesn't necessarily sound like they depowered this guy. It sounds like they just never brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we're saying is that he should be more depowered than he is, at least as far as the card-based stuff goes. Things like the Mind Crush, for example, you know, that's another matter altogether. You know,
Yeah,
that's like interesting.
the card should not been working like this.
No, but
Technically, if he had-
wouldn't he be able to do it though?
Wait.
If he had the ancient version of dual monsters, that the real monsters, then maybe. But this is very
no.
specifically the modern version.
No, if you think about it, because I know Ting Chicken watches the Bridge series, but he should know. You know about the Shadow Duels, right?
Vaguely, yes.
Okay, so the Shadow Duels are technically the real life duels they had in ancient Egypt, where it's like you get seriously harmed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and it has been happening to present day of duel monsters because of Merrick. Because Merrick had initiated Shadow Duels before, and I think also have several people. I haven't gone really far, but
yeah. Don't you have to agree that something's going to be a shadow duel before you start one?
So, okay. Here's the thing. If they had the monsters, then it would make more sense, right? That's the argument. Okay. Then here's what I say about that. And I have no idea if they even incorporate this into Yu-Gi-Oh, but it makes sense logically, because in actual Egyptian mythology, it is a common belief that knowing one's true name gives you power over them. So, theoretically, if the pharaoh knows these monsters, would he then be able to summon it regardless?
Well, I mean, you say it gives you power over something. Does it give you the power of summoning? Because that's the question.
It gives you... I get...
Although
I'm
I guess
not sure.
that what you're suggesting here actually is a good reason why his real name was, you know, kept hidden for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know
Oh,
about necessarily being able to summon across dimensions. If anything, doesn't that mean that anyone who knows his real name could summon him back to their world?
It absolutely works across dimensions. That I can tell you that for a fact. In fact, Ray or Ra, depending on translation, is not his actual name. I could
just imagine like the entire Yu-Gi-Oh gang scrambling to find the pharaoh's real name in all ancient texts they can possibly find to see if they can summon him back.
Well, no, but no, it absolutely does work in other dimensions. This is actually
guys, I think I found it. It's Steve. Tristan. Steve's not an Egyptian name. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But no, it does work across different dimensions. This is a thing in the actual mythology. The gods' names are not their true names per se. It is epithets given to them. There is even a myth where in Ra's dying days, he's too weak to stop things. So someone, I think his wife or one of the other gods goes over and asks and is like, "Hey, I can stop this with your power, but I need your power, please." And so he whispers his real name, and it's never written what it is, but he whispers his real name to her, and that is what is able to save the day because they now have the power of him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yes, it does theoretically work under different dimensions because, and you know this because the Egyptians explicitly never show the gods' true names for that reason.
What about
guys? I believe I found the name. Shut up, Bakura. No one's gonna listen to you.
Wait. What about the afterlife? Does that count as a different dimension?
In Egyptian mythology, presumably yes.
So let's say, because technically, kind of a spoiler here, in Duel Monsters, the Pharaoh goes to the afterlife, right?
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Okay, so in this, so there is a movie, you know, I think it's called Dimensions of the Dark Side of the Moon, something along those lines. I can't remember.
Sure, okay.
Anyway, in this movie particularly, Seto Kaiba wants to go and fight the Pharaoh. Because he's like, no fair that Yugi gets to fight the Pharaoh. I want to fight the Pharaoh. I'm the spoiled brat. Whiny.
I must find a way to enter the afterlife. Mokuba, fetching my cyanide pills.
Oh my god.
And yeah, he said in the end, he found some way to get into the afterlife, knowing for a fact that he probably won't make it back, and goes and duel the Pharaoh. So, here's my question. If Sango Kaiba figure out the Pharaoh's name, would he be able to summon him out of the afterlife without having to go to the afterlife itself?
I guess he could also command him. I guess he also could command him to forfeit the duel and win automatically as well.
Yeah.
If we go by that logic.
So here's the thing, and this works in two different ways, amazingly. Because if we're addressing if in Yu-Gi-Oh lore, Egyptian mythology is a thing that exists as a factual piece of this world building.
It's like
There's
the one
two
canon
ways.
religion, yes.
There are two ways they could have done that. One is, yes, theoretically knowing their true name, even though I don't think this is ever addressed. Yes, by the rules that are addressed, this should have theoretically been possible. But also, there are so many gods and so many underworld gods that you could have easily asked any of them within this world to at least make an offer.
But here's another
Now we're going into Pharaoh from Miraculous instead.
Wait, no. Here's the thing, though. We don't know if the Pharaoh isn't technically a god. He's just the Pharaoh from ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Yes, but Yes, but
he does have control of a certain certain gods in card form. We did see Slifer earlier, but that's again not the real Slifer specifically.
Yeah. The name thing is not exclusive to gods. Knowing someone's real name was important in general to the Egyptians, and that was a great honor for that reason because of that.
So if any random person knew any random person's real name, they could teleport them. They could teleport them to their location.
And that's one of the weird things where it's like it's not the clearest.
This is how the pyramids got built. Someone learned all of the different slaves' names, and so they didn't have to walk the entire way. Just be like, okay, on the pyramid. Okay, who would it need here? Okay, Steve 1, Steve 2.
Yeah, well, I think the argument there, and I'm sure there's an answer that is.
Wait a minute! I just realized something. In the abridged series, Marek actually has power over anyone who's named Steve. That's how he possesses people. He literally got Bannock Key to change his name to Steve so that he could control him in the abridged series.
Looking through thousands of sources and stuff like that, it is confirmed, in the anime show, that the Pharaoh is not God. He's just a supreme ruler of ancient Egypt. God,
yep.
Yes, he's a pharaoh, exactly.
Yeah, but the name and stuff, it still qualifies.
So basically, in conclusion, the Seto Kaiba was dumb and could just find his real name and don't have to sacrifice his life for a freaking duel.
Yeah,
I mean, he also spent most of those time not believing in the Pharaoh's existence, so maybe he wasn't willing to consult the ancient wisdom.
Yeah, and if you also want to get even more interesting, if you want to make the argument that the true name is not necessarily related to their physical, in what their name was in our world, but rather a more
no
spiritual.
One was, but for the sake of it, yeah.
But if you want to make the argument that it's more the spiritual name or some cosmic name given to them, there's also the fact that pharaohs, in particular, were given. This is the reason why pyramids exist, by the way. They were given burials. And that's why they're entombed. And if you look at those walls, it's not just gibberish on those walls. It's not just funny pictures. It's all spells, prayers, and texts that are essentially...
Your knowledge of ancient Egypt transcends anything that people learn in primary school.
It's funny because we don't learn anything about that here.
Oh, okay. Well, I did. That's why the whole pharaoh thing was so obvious to me when you mentioned Egypt.
Yeah,
where did the expression come from?
No, so the whole concept and the reason there's stuff on the walls is it's essentially giving a journey. It is the idea of people would gather around and they would say it out loud as prayers, hymns, etc. of the journey to the Duat, and as essentially connecting them to the cosmic forces and the gods. So there's even like a bunch of different things you can simply recite of countless epithets for this pharaoh that you could have just found if you just found the right pyramid.
So we just kind of did a film theory about how Sedekaiba could find the pharaoh a lot easier without how to sacrifice his life.
Theoretically, yeah, this was a much easier job than the show made it sound,
There you go. KW, new video idea for you. That's your next theory.
Yeah. There's a long and documented history of how all this worked, and the pharaoh is arguably in an easier position to be found than a regular person in Egypt.
So, video talk here. The battle system right now I hate, or like I hate how they're handling the way the fight scenes are going, and the fact that, like, I get it, the creator probably wants to include the card game and the My Hero Academia way of fighting, but you do gotta find some way to execute them both without it being really weird and forced. Because this is
we said that earlier. We're essentially repeating the same point we made during the Bakugo fight, and we just spent another half an hour going through that again.
Yeah, you just gotta drive that point back because we're talking about gods and stuff, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, like,
We were definitely talking about Yu-Gi-Oh there, but yes.
I'm going to the Shadow Realm. Goodbye.
Oh, that's a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh, I think.
Yes, that is a thing.
I'm pretty sure it was a censored way of saying the underworld or death. But you know,
well, yeah, no, it was their way of getting around them people dying. The Focus version invented the Shadow Realm, but it's been like adopted into the lexicon.
Why didn't they just use the actual names of the real Egyptian afterlives?
Too close
what
to
are
death.
the names of the real Egyptian afterlives?
You could say underworld, but you could also say the Duat. And there's also different areas of the Duat, much how there's different areas to the Greek underworld.
And like that, you probably lost most of the kids watching the show in the early 2000s.
Okay, well, look, man, if you got them used to Shadow Realms, surely you could have gotten them used to the Duat.
Yeah, the Duat will be fine, but not the areas, maybe. Anyway, next I activate Graceful Charity. Allowing me to draw 3 cards, but I have to discard 2.
You know, I saw the word charity. I saw the word charity.
Now I have all 5 cards. Oh no, is he gonna summon Exodia right now? Yep, I summon Exodia the Forbidden One. Of course you do. Of course you do.
Also,
why does he still have Exodia? For the record, in very, very early Yu-Gi-Oh!, that they threw the Exodia cards into the ocean because in the rules of Duel Monsters, if you draw Exodia, you automatically win the duel. So they immediately got rid of that mechanic so they wouldn't use it over and over again.
By the way, I hate instant
Just
win
immediately.
I hate instant win conditions, okay? It's like the golden snitch in Harry Potter. I hate certain conditions like that. It annoys me. It's like, oh, so instead of actually playing along and progressing and like actually trying, I can just do this other thing and instantly win. Or just get very lucky and instantly win. You know, it's like, okay.
I have defended the Golden Snitch on multiple occasions because most Quidditch matches are league based and the points accumulate. So yes, the Golden Snitch earns you more points than anyone else, and it does end the match. Technically speaking, you can lose if you are down by 160 points, and it has happened. It happened in the World Cup one time. But also again, the points actually add up depending on like if you're in a tournament setting or a league setting. So it does matter. In fact, there's a big emphasis in the 3rd book about how you're not catching the Snitch too early, because otherwise Gryffindor would have lost instead of won the whole cup.
Did the models?
So yeah, bit more
did the
nuance
models
there.
become more
But for most
pixely?
Yes, they did. It seems so.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's not an error from the stream. It seems. Not going in for the 3rd time.
I can't.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't worry. I've already explained Exodia. And also, again, I say early on, it happened like really early, like when the first episodes, the first arc of the main season 1. So yeah, Exodia was used technically, I think, twice, I believe. Once at the end of season 0, and once at the beginning of season 1. Fun fact, actually, the reason there's 5 pieces of Exodia is because of the whole emphasis on like the 5 friends in the original season 0. That was like their tie-in for that. But yeah, it kind of didn't work when they wanted to expand and use the card game for the rest of time. So, ploop, into the ocean it goes.
What do you mean an instant win condition that you can just pull out of your butt whenever you want in the anime isn't a great idea? Oh no, the character's losing. Hey, look, they just happen to get lucky and get the instant win condition. Wasn't a good idea. Shocking.
Yeah. Also, I guess I'll do the meme. Exodia! That's impossible! No one's ever been able to summon him before. Except you in Season 0, Yugi. Anyway. Exodia Ex Machina. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What happens if it's caught and the store becomes tied? If in a league situation, that would just be it, and the game would end as is, and you would play for the rest of the points you'd accumulated.
Guys. Exodia is power of friendship.
or in a World Cup setting, I don't actually know. That's never happened before, so there's no like documented thing about that. And trust me, I've read Quidditch through the ages. I know about documented Quidditch events. Why do I know this? Because of analysis videos and Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. Apparently it's much more comprehensive than I gave it credit for. Apparently I learned way more than I gave myself credit for from there. It's only the friends we made along the way. It was, yeah, it really was.
By the way, I'll wait until towards the end. But there's also one other way that just occurred to me. You could have grabbed the Pharaoh. I want to talk about
this
later.
Is how by the way, Bond, this is how I feel every time people bring up FNAF lore. Anyway. I really wonder how they're going to summon... Exodia's gigantic. I wonder how they're going to fit in this frame.
I mean...
Oh, by shrinking him. Okay, I see. Fair enough.
No, Exodia is just summoning, like, goes smashing through the ceiling. It's like, oh no!
Here's the thing. Yeah. Looking at him and hearing, they shrunk him, this must feel similar to how I felt to live action Clifford, where it's like, yeah, it's bigger than a normal dog, but it's not bigger than a house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if you're talking about the Harry Potter stuff, yes. I thought you were talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh things. That's why I was like, okay, yeah, that stuff I was less credit for. But yes, I'm a proud Harry Potter nerd. Yeah. 100% have been for a decade.
How is this monster gonna attack? Wait.
But technically it doesn't have to because you win automatically, but also it could just like obliterate. The Exodia obliterate is like the basic thing.
Wait, Numu has shock absorption. How do you know he's gonna do shock absorption?
Because he's fought them before, remember?
No, but how do you know like what Exodia is going to do?
Because any direct attack is going to result in a shock absorption.
I thought shock absorption was just electricity absorption.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like if it were, then the fight that All Might had with the Nomu would have probably ended a little bit differently.
Don't worry, Exodia has effect just for that. Oh, good. I was worried for a second that that we would actually have to struggle. Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, I was worried that Deus Ex Machina wouldn't have worked here. Of course, yeah.
Wouldn't that suck?
Oh, they haven't. Wait, they haven't after Family was like him. Oh no, more crossovers on a separate channel.
Yeah.
No. And KW recommended this to me. I didn't know that. Oh dear.
Also, I'm not like a scientist, but like I will also note that shock, whenever talking like shock absorption in like a scientific sense, that's not necessarily confined to just electricity. I mean, that's just a certain type of energy.
I mean, I guess
it feels like the Black Panther suit, if anything else.
Yeah.
Exodia obliterate.
Oh, he's dead. I love the way it fades down. It's so bad. It's like,
yeah. Now let's go help the others. I will summon all the Exodias with me. I will do the exact same moves. I'll rearrange my cards exactly the same way they were before, so I draw the exact same ones. I keep summoning Exodia.
Bonas.
Except you have to shuffle your cards. That's one of the rules of duel once. You have to shuffle your cards before you start. But
that's like the rule of any card game, really. Bon says, Vivi, are you satisfied with your decision to join this view? Boy, am I! I'm clinging onto this review by my rudimentary knowledge of Egyptian mythology alone.
Ding dong, Wicked Raven is dead. Wicked Raven.
The Nomu's dead.
Wicked
The
Raven.
Nomu's dead. The Nomu's dead. Yeah.
You know, wait. Do you want to show what Nomu looks like normally to Bon?
Oh, did Bomb miss that before? Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
Nomu usually.
Yeah, this is what he's supposed to look like.
Yeah, so he's kind
And
of like
this is what we got.
Yeah, so he's a weird little like mutant zombie brain creature in actual thing, and this dude's just a ashen humanoid bird.
Yeah, for the record, like the beak does give it like a bird-like aesthetic, but it seems to be more of like a mouth guard of some kind to like, you know, make sure the head doesn't like fall apart because of all the experiments and such. So I would have gone with like a visor of some kind for the Nomus in order to make them look a little bit more credible, let's say. And also to scale them up a little bit more than just this, because they seem to be about the same size as the teenage protagonist. And
They're
that is
slightly
definitely
taller
not
than
result.
Deku, ever so
Yeah,
slightly.
They're about the same size as Buff All Might, so a little bit larger, I think, as well. So yeah, definitely not that. Gacha limitations. Yeah, some gacha limitations, but yeah, there was some.
Yeah,
things that
but
could've been,
like
you
the
know,
brain, like I would make the head pink at least, and gave him like a mouth thing or something, you know, like maybe like a mask or something, and then put the beak on top of the mask.
Yeah. Or
I don't
as
know.
Aiden pointed out earlier, probably the easiest thing to fix would have been the color of the pants.
Yeah, the pants are black for some reason, or like grayish, a gray, even though they should be like tan for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're black, but okay.
Yeah, I'd have possibly given the character a wider stance and shrunken the head, because to use the new Gacha Club body mechanics as well. They're not perfect for body types, but you know, to give like a a bit of a muscle bound implication, that would have been something. So yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier. Anyway, it's going to help the others, and to be continued.
Oh, cool. So nothing happened in this, by the way.
A lot happened. You know,
No.
Yugi got isekai'd. He managed to show off his quirk. Then the school got attacked. There was a fair amount. I guess he also met Deku.
But I mean, like, why would he join the school in the first place? I'm gonna be honest. Like, shouldn't you want to be trying to get home?
Oh, that
not
still
just
makes no
join
sense.
a
I'm just saying stuff happened. I'm not saying that why it happened makes sense. I'm just saying
This
stuff
was
happened.
almost entirely fights, and there was no transition there.
And
Everything
but the
that
fights
happened
weren't even
in
well
this-
animated. Like, the fights were pretty mediocre.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? The first, like, here's the thing. What you say, Jacob, there, it would give more credence if it were at least spread around. It wasn't. It was at the very start of the video. Everything else was fights.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned
Nothing happened. It was all fights except for the very beginning of this video.
Yeah, so the beginning, the plot got set up, and then 2 fights ensued. I feel like lots of action shows have that exact setup.
Yeah, but there's still at least some characterization in most good ones.
Oh well, the characterization it did kind of shine through. We had we had Yami coming in to take the place of people who were fighting by their own and take the glory for himself. That's very much in character for him, actually.
Is it?
Also, from
Yes.
a writing standpoint, how come he broke into school? Like, why was he broken into school to attack the school? Like, it doesn't.
Well, where else is Nobu gonna go?
Normally, the villains have like a plan or whatever when they do stuff in the show, right? There's normally
the
more.
first time that we see Nomus and the villains, their plan is to attack the school. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, but that's the first plan. I don't think they immediately redo that plan every season. Immediately be like, oh, let's just attack the school.
No, hey, maybe
Again, that depends like what
the,
part of the canon we're actually in at the moment, because I mean, clearly we're at the beginning of the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, we're still at Exodia. How far along we are in My Hero Academia, that's still up for debate, because we don't get any context clues to how far in the series we are.
Hey, maybe they're just doing the Plankton method, where they have a file cabinet of evil plans A through Z.
Attack the school.
I guess it would have to be after they like had the boarding dorms, because that happened like sometime into season 2, I believe. So we are like a little bit of the ways in, because that would probably be where Yugi would be staying, and that's why no one batted an eye that he'd be staying here at the school. But other than that, no other context clues to where we are.
But like, This was not good. I don't get the rules.
That's Duel Monsters for you.
Yeah, but like even by Duel Monster rules isn't.
Well, okay. Wait, are the Duel Monster rules not going? Because the thing is, I know that Yu-Gi-Oh has like a physical card game again, like Pokemon as well.
Yes.
So surely they would just follow the same rules there, right?
I don't think the early anime followed the card game
you
very
sweet
accurately.
spring, summer, and winter child.
Oh,
Do they not follow their own like rules? Like
did-
printed
I-
and stamped?
They try. You know how Pokemon takes some liberties with how the battles work and how certain moves affect things.
I'm gonna use
how-
Stealth
Okay.
Rock, and it just
Okay.
slaps a bunch of sharp rocks at someone's face. Like that's not how
I'm
it
good-
works. The entry has it.
Here we
Pokemon
are in the Rock Gym. I'm gonna challenge the Rock Gym right now. Here, I'm just gonna my electric rat to beat your giant rock monster.
Okay,
Of course,
wait,
that's how it works.
Okay, but
Pikachu's
Pokemon gets a
Thunderbolt is
little
super
bit-
effective.
Okay, but Pokemon gets a little bit of leniency because it's at least the framing device in that show is not also a card game. It's like actual sentient creatures. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it's a card game, so you would think the rules would have to be consistent. There's not much wiggle room.
And to be fair, the
They
difference
wiggle a little bit.
The
Oh,
difference
okay.
between the difference between the games and anime when it comes to Pokemon is in the anime it's not technically turn-based for the most part. Like it's really not turn-based. In Pokemon, they kind of like go in whatever order they want, you know. Sometimes they'll do multiple
Although they
attacks
do
in one
sometimes
turn.
like do run on a system.
Sometimes, but like they don't always do turn-based, and like they'll do multiple attacks in one turn or like multiple different strategies. You know, so there is a bit more difference between the Pokemon battles in anime versus in game, you know, because
Yeah.
I can't really use Iron Tail on the floor to like make the floor uneven to like throw off
Okay,
my
yeah,
opponent.
For the record, by the way, just to clarify this, Duelist Kingdom was the first arc of season 1, so they set the bar immediately. At one point, I remember that again, I've only watched 3 official Yu-Gi-Oh episodes because I had that random DVD. One of those, one of the Yami is fighting a guy who uses like ocean based creatures, and on his side of the field he has the ocean and is like gradually like engulfing
The
the
entire
battlefield,
ocean?
so that part of the ocean, little bits of his own chunk. But gradually like chips away at the field. At one point, Yami summons the moon during the time that the ocean has already been in effect, but by destroying his own card of the moon, then the tide suddenly let out and the ocean withdraws, even though it was there before the moon showed up. So, yeah.
Now, when you say the moon, we're talking about a holographic moon as well, right? And not just actually the moon.
Yes, like we're talking about we're not going by Dragon Ball rules where the moon got destroyed twice. No,
Okay,
we're going
cool.
by...
Wait, what? Wait, it got destroyed twice? How did they rebuild the moon?
Dragon Balls?
Is that what they wished? Wait,
No,
but wait, if it got destroyed twice though, that means they were able to use the Earth Dragon Balls once, but they couldn't reuse the same wish. So they literally had to go to like another area, like another planet to get
I
those
don't
Dragon
recall
Balls.
if they ever recovered the moon a second time. So it could have been just like one.
Oh god, the
recovery and then never
tides!
again.
Not the tides!
Mm-hmm.
No!
Hold on, wait. Someone redid this series a year ago. What do you mean
The remake.
redid? As in like somebody else like was like, hey,
Did
this
the
sucks. I'm gonna do it
concept
better.
Remade it like did
Yeah,
the creator
is it like
remake
a remake,
what?
or is it like just or is it just they had the same idea?
Because I mean, I guess crossing over 2 series isn't necessarily too original. I mean, it's how you execute it is where it
Yeah,
shines.
but like if you told 2 different people cross over these 2 series, you're gonna get 2 different products.
Yeah, so is it actually like redoing this series, or is it just, what if I just mash these together?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what it feels like the creator did for this. What if we take Yu-Gi-Oh and My Hero Academia and mash them together? What do you
By the
mean
way-
I'm not being careful how I'm doing? I'm just gonna slam them together to see if it works.
By the way, I've got a
work.
lot of requests over the years on the Butter Bunch to do like what ifs of like, oh yeah, what if certain character was in certain franchise, certain Dragon Ball character was in certain franchise. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I can do that properly because of my history with crossovers and the fact that I know it will fall apart very
Power
quickly.
level. I mean, that's like crossing over Full Metal Alchemist with Dragon Ball. I mean, Edward ain't gonna last long in Dragon Ball's universe. Edward gets destroyed.
There is a specific meme. There's a specific meme of like, can your anime character beat Goku? And normally the answer is no. Not that that means anything, of course, because it's a different world, but still.
I wonder why Goku's like obscenely powerful. I mean, a little bit too powerful, in my opinion.
That's why he's the yardstick for that. That's why the whole meme of that. Yeah.
Yeah, in the words...
Something a lot of Dragon Ball fans would be like, it's like, oh yeah, well, Goku could beat up this person, therefore the series is cooler, or that kind of thing. It was basically...
Can Goku beat up Buffy, therefore Goku is Goku Dragon Ball better than Buffy?
Goku be like, Buffy just goes crashing.
In the words of the late Stan Lee, everyone always asks me, what if these two fight? Who would win? And my answer is whoever's writing the book.
Yeah, whoever the scriptwriter decides is the winner, I think was the... I remember you showed me that interview, actually.
Yeah. So there was never,
Power scaling's a myth.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. To quote Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, power levels are BS.
One day someone's at God level, the next day someone can't even beat a kid. I don't know how, it just happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day you're going up against Darkrai, next day you can't beat level 5 Snivy, Happens.
One day you're fighting army of hybrids. The next day you're having trouble beating a girl dressed as a cat who can talk to cats. Ben 10 logic. It's great.
Hey, talking to cats, I'm sure is a very useful skill.
Not really. They struggle with her, and it's so dumb in Omniverse. Like, how are you struggling with her of all people? She gets cat powers.
Misfits in a way. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, individual worlds have a power scale system that is unique to them, and so that's why. And it's only when you run into crossover situations where you have to start like weighing up these situations, because otherwise you're fine. Yeah, each world will have their own like internal logic. The reason that was so difficult, and the reason why I eventually abandoned my crossover fanfic writing ways. I gave it a go for a good while. I tried to combine Harry Potter and Percy Jackson. I was like, no, this is not working.
Immortal beings who can't die at all versus Harry Potter characters. I wonder who wins.
Well, they're not the immortal beings aren't the main characters. That wasn't the part that didn't work.
Yeah, but Harry can't fight Poseidon. Harry will die.
Yeah, but Poseidon wasn't the main character of Percy Jackson.
Yeah, Poseidon. I don't recall Percy ever fighting Poseidon for the record.
Why? You don't
Ares,
have daddy issues? You don't have daddy issues like that?
Well...
Oh, he has daddy issues. It just don't manifest through violence towards said dad.
Daddy issues. Let's go.
You never seen it crossovers was with my books. Yeah. The one person who constantly explores crossovers that we know, I guess, is Johnny. Although that's not in that case it's mostly not superhero
greatest
genre.
I wouldn't use Johnny as the best example because
it's the only example I have. That's why, basically.
I've always wondered, and I'm sure.
But yeah, we still run into problems too because we don't get to see like the mechanics on how the actual miraculous use their powers. In fact, they rarely ever do because no one uses their powers. That's the thing in shows, superhero shows, when no one uses their powers, like in the case of like early Disco Pops, for example. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that because everyone's going to be the same. Nothing.
What do you mean? If they just talk to the villain and be like, "Stop right there, villain! Don't do this evil plan," and the villain's like, "Okay, we won't do this evil plan. You got me. Bye." And the villain
that is just
away.
Us in D&D, to be fair.
Well, at least we try to persuade them. We're like, "Hey, don't kill us, please."
Hey, King. Yeah.
Hey, King. Listen, okay? I'm not talking to a forbidden child that isn't supposed to be in the city at all. No, I'm not talking to her.
Also, KW, there's not comics, there's graphic novels. But...
whatever. There's a graphic
comic
novel
version.
version of the books is the important bit, and I forgot those existed. So yeah, maybe that'd be more your speed, Aiden, if you
Jeez.
So we can finally, I've been trying to convince Aiden to read the series for years. Okay,
Do you want to read it to me?
I was I was there before the dawn of House of Leaves. So I was like
Sure.
gracing your ears. Yeah.
Yeah. Gracing your ears is crazy. No, I'm sure there's this thing this was like something that would be answered at some point in one of the books. I wonder, because like, you know, Perseus, which is who Percy's named after, was
Oh yeah. By the way, chat for the record, BB has read the first 4 Percy Jackson books, and that is
Yes.
as far as she's got right now.
yes.
Yeah,
How many books
continue.
are there?
5, 6,
A lot.
7. 7 right now.
Yeah,
8,
in
I
Percy
assume.
Jackson and the Olympians, then the wider Rick Riordan verse is more expansive than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
You've also got supplementary materials like Demigod Files and stuff like that. But whatever.
Yeah. But I've been curious, right? Because Perseus is who Percy's named after, but
Mhm.
but Perseus is a kid of Zeus, but Percy is a kid of Poseidon. Does Poseidon have any?
Yes.
Do either Poseidon or Zeus have any qualms about Percy's name being based on like a kid of the wrong god? Do either of them have any opinions on that?
I mean, do you want an actual answer to that, or
Do they answer that at some point?
they don't? Because honestly, that feels so mundane that it's not even worth addressing. But
Well, yeah, but it feels like something. If I were in their shoes, I'd be like, how come you get this one?
well, I mean, old Perseus had his moments.
This is fair.
I suppose.
Not the second book. There's more than 2 book series, KW.
Yes, but she's specifically saying not second book series because second book series she did not enjoy is the implication behind that, not the fact that there is only a second book series. That was never the implication here.
Oh.
Yeah. And yeah, for the record, I did enjoy the second book series less than the other ones that I've read, because I've read Trials of Apollo as well. But that could just be me, honestly.
I'll get through them all eventually.
Of course. And we'll get through all of this as well at some point eventually. But now is not that day because we have rambled for way too long. So we're going to leave it here, and we'll watch the redone version maybe at some other point, or possibly the FNAF crossover. Another channel to add to the list with the 2.0 and the everything. So make sure you save that redo because we'll tackle that someday. But yeah, for now, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and it's great to done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Yep. Hi, demon. Bye, demon.